Welcome friends, today we are going to discuss sonnet number 127 by William Shakespeare, world's most celebrated poet and dramatist, one who has not been excelled by anyone even up to the present in the world literature. He has written 154 sonnets. Out of them, some of the sonnets are about fair youth and some of them are about the dark lady. Some of the critics believe that the fair youth is none other than Earl of Southampton, Henry Rizzoli, the patron of Shakespeare, and the dark lady was his mistress. This is how some of the critics believe, but there is no unanimity, there is no consensus on this opinion that these were the real life persons who were once part of Shakespeare's life. Most of the critics disagree, and most of the critics believe that both of these, can say, personalities are imaginary personalities, which he mentions over there or make them to feature into his sonnets. Now let us see what is the sonnet number 127 is about. Before analyzing one sonnet number 127, let us hear the model reading of sonnet number 127 written by William Shakespeare. Dear friends, now let us hear the model reading of this sonnet.
Sonnet 127. In the old age black was not counted fair, or if it were, it bore not beauty's name. But now is black beauty's successive heir, and beauty slandered with a bastard shame. For since each hand hath put on nature's power, fairing the foul with art's false borrowed face, sweet beauty hath no name, no holy bower, but is profaned, if not lives in disgrace. Therefore my mistress' brows are raven black, her eyes so suited, and they mourners seem, at such who, not born fair, no beauty lack, slandering creation with a false esteem. Yet so they mourn, becoming of their woe, that every tongue says beauty should look so.
Now, dear friends, let us see an introduction to sonnet number 27 by Shakespeare. It is one of the William Shakespeare sonnet written out of 154 sonnets in total, and it is being supposed that this is the first, can say, poem in the, can say, or the first, can say, sonnet in the sequence of dark lady sonnets. Sonnets which are being termed as the dark lady sonnets supposed to begin with 127 and they stretch up to 154. It means that it is an opening sonnet of that sequence that is being called as dark lady sequence of sonnets written by Shakespeare. And before that he has written fair youth sonnets, and dark lady sonnet, can see it is claimed that he has written for his beloved, addressing his beloved, uh, his mistress, that has been, can say, referred to over here as the dark lady. But some of the critics do not believe that there was any person in a reality uh, called as dark lady. This sonnet and those which follow this sonnet are concerned with what is beautiful and how the concept of beauty are changing. The speaker is right at the heart of that. Here we find that from this sonnet onward, Shakespeare has contemplated in his sonnet what is beauty, what is beautiful. These are the notions that he, can say, seems to contemplate over there from sonnet number 20, 127 onwards. And he also, can say, seem to become contemplating how the concept of beauty uh, changes over there in the course of the time. As with the fair youth, there is no consensus in regard to who Dark Lady is or if she was even a real person. And this is how there is no consensus amongst the critics that whether the Dark Lady was a real person or not. Some say that she was a real person, she was Shakespeare's mistress, and some say that she was just an imaginary character that he has featured over there, making people, can say, have impression that she was his beloved or she was his mistress. Now let us see that what are the themes of this sonnet, sonnet number 127. Throughout the sonnet 127, the poet engages with the themes of beauty and transformation. These are the two dominant themes which seem to feature into this sonnet, that is of beauty and transformation, that and the a kind of a relationship that both of these, can say, notions share over there. He considers the past and the present and decides that the way women are today is less natural and less genuine and they were in the past. And this is how Shakespeare tries to, can say, somewhere make it clear that what kind of a, relationship is there between these two concepts, that is the beauty and transformation. And he is making it clear that with the, can say, change of the time, the notion of beauty, can say, transforms, it changes over there. Certain, can say, changes in the conception of beauty and what is beautiful do come down, and even the world around accepts it. Before, it was easy to tell who was beautiful and who was not. Shakespeare states in this sonnet that in the past times it was very much easy to identify that who was beautiful and who was not beautiful, because he believes that nowadays most of the women use cosmetics in order to make up the lacunas in their beauty. They use cosmetics to hide, can say, lacunas in their beauty, shortcomings in their beauties, and enhance their, can say, um, their beauty by making up with the cosmetics. And that is why somewhere Shakespeare feels irritated that nowadays it is very, can say, difficult to find out who is really beautiful, because most of the women darken their complexion in a way that they resemble natural beauty. And somewhere he, can say, states that most of the women around in the society are trying to resemble, can say, by, can say, darkening their complexion with cosmetics, just like his beloved Dark Lady. And somewhere he, can say, making it clear that even the conception of beauty has been changing in, you can say, in the course of time, over the time. Now let us see what is the structure and form of the poem. We already know that the poem is a sonnet, as it has been named sonnet number 127 by William Shakespeare. It is clear that the genre of the poem is sonnet, and we know that what is the traditional pattern of Shakespearean sonnet. That Shakespearean sonnet is being divided into uh, three, can say, four, three quatrains of four lines. It means the first, can say, three stanzas are of four lines, and it is being followed by one couplet, and the rhyme scheme, a peculiar rhyme scheme is being followed by Shakespearean sonnet, that is alternatively called as Elizabethan sonnet or English sonnet, that is AB AB CD CD EF EF GG. This is how the three quatrains followed by one couplet. And in most of the Shakespearean sonnet, a particular poetic fit is used, and that is called as iambic, can say poetic fit. And iambic poetic fit means a poetic fit that consists, can say, of two syllables, untraced syllable followed by traced syllable, and the poetic, can say meter that is found in all of the, can say Shakespearean sonnets is iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter means when the iambic foot is repeated for 5 times. Penta means 5 and meter means the repetition of feet. And this is how whenever there is a repetition of feet for 5 times, it becomes pentameter. And here in Shakespearean sonnets we find that iambic foot is as feet is repeated for 5 times, and that is why it becomes iambic pentameter. And the present sonnet 2 follows this metrical pattern, that is called as iambic pentameter. It means that in each of the line of this sonnet, iambic pentameter, this metrical pattern is being found. It means that every, can say line of this sonnet contains 10 syllables. Out of them, 5 are untraced and 5 are traced. One untraced syllable is followed by one traced syllable. This is how the, can say pattern is being found, and it is repeated for 5 times, and this is how it becomes iambic pentameter. Besides iambic pentameter, we find that there are many, can say literary devices that Shakespeare uses into his sonnets, and same is the case with this sonnet too. Shakespeare makes use of several poetic techniques in sonnet number 127. He uses alliteration, he uses enjambment, he uses metaphor. Alliteration and metaphor are figures of speech, and enjambment is, can say a kind of a stopping point that is being, can say used by the poet in order to, can say heighten the intensity. It is also a kind of a figure of speech. Alliteration means the repetition of the words with begin with the same consonant, and in the present sonnet too, we find the use of alliteration that Shakespeare has done. For example, in line number 2, he uses the words beer and beauty. In line number 4, beauty and bastard. This is how four of these words you start with the consonant b, and this is how the alliteration is being formed over there. Enjambment, can say occurs when the poet cuts off the line before its natural stopping. For example, transition between line number 10 and 11, we find that the there is a cutting off of line before its natural point. So the division, can say of the line is being done before the natural point, stopping point. That is called as enjambment. That has been done by Shakespeare into this sonnet in between line number 10 and 11. The next figure of speech that he uses, that is metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison between two, can say things, and it is a kind of a comparison wherein no connective is being used, or no indicative of, can say comparison is being used, as they are used in simile, like words like as, so as. Uh, Here Shakespeare compares his mistress's eyes with the dark feathers of raven. And this is the, can say kind of a comparison that he does over there. Uh, into this sonnet. Now, dear friends, let us see the can say analysis of this sonnet. We know that the sonnet is about how the concept and or say notion of beauty changes over there, or beautiful notion of a beautiful changes over there. Shakespeare states into the first quatrain, means in the first can say 5 lines, that how the conception of beauty has changed in the course of time. In an old age, black was not counted fair. It means in the past times, black was not being considered as beautiful, or if it were, it bore not beauty's name. And even though it was being counted fair, then even after that, it was not being counted as beautiful, or it was not being given the name of beauty. But now is black beauty's successive hair. And Shakespeare states over there that nowadays black is being seen as beautiful. Beauty slandered with the bastard shame. And somewhere he believes that nowadays most of the women, can say somewhere use, can say cosmetic in order to make up. And this is how, can say beauty is, can say is being, can say made to come down to shame. In the first lines of sonnet number 127, the speaker begins by addressing the fact that the ideas about beauty are changing. He knows that in the past, dark complexion wasn't considered beautiful. Or if it was, he adds, no one admitted they thought, can say so. It bore not beauty's name, meaning that no one called it beautiful. No one called dark as beautiful. No one called, can say black as beautiful in the past. But now, the over the course of the time, the can say conception of beauty has changed. This is what Shakespeare states over there. Black is becoming more popular. He can say makes it clear into this quatrain that nowadays black is being can say seen as can say beautiful, and it is becoming more popular. In the next quatrain, means the in the second quatrain, we find that Shakespeare is trying to can say make it clear that how the can say beauty is being diluted nowadays. For he says that for since each hand hath put on nature's power, fearing the foul, fearing the foul with the hour's fast borrowed face, sweet beauty hath no name, no holy bower, but is profaned, and if not, lives in disgrace. In these, can say lines, Beaker asserts his opinion in regard to cosmetics. Somewhere he brings to the notice of the, can say world around and society that nowadays, yeah, beauty has been somewhere defined by the use of cosmetics, and you can say the process of making up with the help of cosmetics to look beautiful, that has somewhere can say brought a kind of a irritation in his in the mind of Shakespeare. It seems to can say be evident into these can say lines. He is irritated by the fact that any woman can now turn to cosmetics as a way of enhancing their natural appearance. And somewhere he's can say feels very much irritated that nowadays women use can say cosmetics in order to make up their can say beauty. And somewhere he can say feels that it is a kind of a danger that nowadays the nature's power has can say come down into human hands, that human hands use cosmetics in order to look fair, look beautiful. And somewhere he feels that this is the devaluation of a beauty. This is the devaluation of a real beauty that has been endowed by the can say nature to somebody. But nowadays, everyone can say tries to look beautiful by making up can say certain lacuna shortcomings in their beauty. And he feels that this is how, by making up, by can say using the cosmetics, most of the lady devalue beauty. This is what he thinks. And then when one sees something beautiful, it is less impactful than it would have been otherwise. And what is the can say the thing of a repentance for the poet, when he finds that nowadays the cosmetics have given nature's power into human hands? That is that he can say makes it clear that the real can say beautiful can say things becomes less impactful. Real beauty becomes like less impactful as compared to the artificial beauty that has been can say brought in over there in existence by human beings by using cosmetics. And this is how he can say feels irritated that the very can say conception of beauty has changed. At the same time, the can say the can say thing called as beauty is in a danger, because nowadays most of the women use cosmetics in order to look beautiful. He believes that true beauty, that which nature alone had bestowed upon a woman, does not exist anymore. And this is how somewhere poet seems to be believe there firmly that nowadays in this society, in the present society, no real beauty can say exists over there, that has been can say somewhere bestowed upon by nature on a woman. Because he feels that most of the women do makeup with the help of cosmetics, and that is why it is very difficult to identify that which of the woman is being endowed with the real beauty by the nature. And this is how somewhere he feels that makeup with the help of cosmetics is a kind of can say thing that impures the can say conception of beauty or the somewhere it brings can say existence of real beauty into danger. The can say next can say quatrain that runs from line number 8, 9 to 12. Therefore my mistress's eyes are raven black, her eyes so suited, they mourner seems at such who, not born fair, not born fair, no beauty lack, slandering creation with a false esteem. And this is how, dear friends, here Shakespeare tries to make it clear through the can say this particular can say quatrain, third quatrain, that what is exactly beautiful. He gives the example of the raven black eyes of his mistress, and he makes it clear that his mistress has become a symbol or epitome of beauty. And he also makes it clear that his mistress's eyes, which are raven black, they are being seen as the can say seal of a beauty. Even the people, those who were not there to can say admit that beauty black is not beautiful or dark is not beautiful, he says that nowadays even those people have started to accept, after seeing his beloved and her can say dark complexion, her raven black can say eyes, that dark is beautiful, or say black is beautiful. Her eyes so suited that the mourners seem at such who, not born fair, no beauty lack. And he says that even can say those who were not can say were in a favor of admitting dark as a beautiful, nowadays have started to admit that dark is also beautiful. Now let us see the can say analysis of these can say last can say 6 lines, that is one quatrain and last couplet. It is not until the ninth line of the poem speaker brings in his mistress dark lady. It is in this can say ninth line, means the beginning of the third quatrain. Shakespeare, can say, gives reference to his beloved lady with a dark complexion, and that is why she is being called as Dark Lady. And he said that she has eyes that are raven black, and a great, it is example of a great metaphor. Her eyes are, can say, being, can say, term as a raven black. Here, the, can say, metaphor for eyes is used over there, and this metaphor is of raven black. And he says that her beauty matches with the current fashion, but she does not have to improve herself with the makeup. And he makes it clear that his beloved is having with a real beauty. She does not use any kind of a cosmetic in order to make up her beauty, and she does not need to improve her beauty by using, can say, cosmetics, by making up for the, can say, the kind of, can say, lacunas over there in her beauty. He says that her dark eyes appear to be in a mourning for those who make themselves beautiful with a makeup. And this is how he, can say, criticizes that most of the lady try to, can say, makeup by using, can say, cosmetics, uh, making his, can say, beloved as a model, as a sample of a beauty, and they also try to, can say, look like his beloved by, can say, darkening their complexion. These people are not naturally beautiful and are exact demographic that Shakespeare's speaker is annoyed with. And here, can say, Shakespeare tries to make it clear that what annoys to the, can say, lover of a beauty, that is a fake, can say, beauty that is being, can say, brought in over there by using cosmetics by most of the ladies. And somewhere he feels irritated to see that most of the ladies, those who are not having with the darker, complexions, are now trying to darken their, can say, skin in order to look as beautiful as his mistress is. And somewhere he is making it clear that as and when and as and how the, can say, notion of a beauty changes, the, can say, people try to make, can say, up by using, can say, those kinds of, can say, cosmetics in order to match with the current, can say, notion of beauty, current, can say, notion of beautiful. And he's making it clear that at present, dark is being counted as beautiful, and that is why most of the ladies are trying to darken their beauty, looking at his beloved as the epitome or the, can say, sample of a beauty, and they are also trying to darken their beauty. The poem concludes with the speaker saying that Dark Lady's beauty is so powerful that she is transforming what others think beauty should be in her sadness. Now let us read the last, can say, line, that every tongue says beauty should look so. And he is trying to make it clear that his, can say, beloved is defining what is beauty, what has to be called beautiful. And this is how this poem, can say, makes it clear that in the course of the time the notions change over there, and the kind of a relationship that Shakespeare has formed over there of mm, uh, beauty and transformation, that has been, can say, beautifully, can say, been over there into this poem. He tries to show that how the notion of beauty changes over there, how the transformation into the notions of what is beauty, what is beautiful, come down over there. And the way the, can say, these notions change, in the same way, can say, most of the women, can say, start, can say, to change their making up, so that they would like, to, can say, look so, and they, can say, try to make up in that particular fashion, uh, fashion of the can say time, that can say count something to be beautiful, and he can say makes it clear that at present dark is supposed to be beautiful, and that is why most of the ladies are darkening their complexion by using cosmetics in order to make up the things, make up their can say lacunas in their can say beauty. And this is how the sonnet can say is a sonnet that makes can say readers to be can say thoughtful about the notions of beauty and what is beautiful. So this is how can say it is one of the important sonnets of Shakespeare that talks about the can say universal notions of beauty and transformation, beauty and change, and then how can say change comes down into a particular notion. And here he has talked about how the changes have come down into the course of the time in the notion of beauty and what is beautiful, what is beauty and what is beautiful. So this is can say the poem that talks about the can say in the spirit of Indian philosophy that change is permanent, and can say change is the can say rule of this universe, and he tries to bring to the notice through the change that has come down into the notion of what is beauty and what is beautiful in the course of the time. So herein we find that Shakespeare also can say writes in that particular spirit in which Indian philosophy believes that uh, change is the rule of universe. And here he can say tries to state that what kind of a change that has come down in the course of the time in the notions of what is beauty and what is beautiful. Thank you, friends.